The Battle for Grace Street. The notice was pinned to the front door of the Harper family's modest ranch-style home on Grace Street, a quiet suburb in Maplewood, Ohio. It wasn't just a piece of paper, it was a declaration of war. Remove the wheelchair ramp within 48 hours or face a $750 fine. It read in stark, unyielding print. Susan Harper's hands trembled as she read it, her 15-year-old daughter, Lily, watching from her wheelchair on the porch. The ramp was Lily's lifeline, her path to independence. Someone wanted to tear it down, and Susan knew exactly who. Margaret Voss, the iron-fisted president of the Grace Street Homeowners Association. Susan had moved to Maplewood 2 years ago, seeking a fresh start after a grueling divorce. The house was small, with peeling paint and a creaky porch, but it was theirs. She'd painted Lily's room a vibrant teal, her daughter's favorite color, and spent sleepless nights watching DIY videos to build the ramp herself. Lily, born with spina bifida, was a force of nature, a straight A, a student who wrote poetry on her laptop and dreamed of becoming a novelist. The ramp gave her freedom to roll in and out of the house, to feel like any other teenager. Now, Margaret Voss, with her manicured lawn and clipboard of rules, threatened to take that away. Margaret, 58, ruled Grace Street like a monarch. Every mailbox was the same shade of navy blue, and every lawn was trimmed to precisely 2.5 inches. She loathed anything that disrupted her vision of perfection, and the Harper house, with its teal door and wooden ramp, was an affront. But there was a deeper wound Margaret hid from the world. 15 years ago, her son, Daniel, had been in a motorcycle accident at 19. The crash left him paralyzed, and Margaret, unable to cope with his disability, had placed him in a care facility 2 hours away. She told neighbors he was recovering out of state. She hadn't visited him in 8 years. Seeing Lily, vibrant and loved, stirred a guilt Margaret buried under rage. The first notice was followed by a second, then a third, each more aggressive. Fines piled up: $100 for unkempt shrubs, $150 for excessive noise from Lily's laughter. Susan, a part-time librarian, worked extra hours to cover the penalties, but Margaret's harassment intensified. She'd linger outside the Harper house, measuring the grass with a ruler or glaring at the ramp. Lily, once outgoing, grew quiet, her poetry untouched, her spark dimmed. One humid July evening, Susan was stuck at the library for a late shift. Lily, mature for her age, insisted she'd be fine alone. "I'll lock the door, Mom," she promised. At dusk, Lily rolled onto the porch to watch the fireflies, typing a story on her tablet about a girl who could talk to stars. She didn't see Margaret watching from her pristine yard across the street. Margaret had spent the day fuming. The city had denied her petition to evict the Harpers, and her husband, a retired accountant, had called her obsession unhealthy. Glass of bourbon in hand, she saw Lily alone and snapped. This was her chance to end the reminder of her failures. She stormed across the street, heels clicking. "What are you doing out here?" she demanded. Lily, startled, typed, "Just writing. I'm not bothering anyone." Margaret sneered, pointing at a stray leaf on the porch. "This place is a disgrace. You and your mother think you can ruin my neighborhood." When Lily tried to will inside, Margaret grabbed the wheelchair's handles. "Don't ignore me." She yanked Lily's tablet, hurling it to the ground. The screen shattered. What happened next was unthinkable. Margaret, fueled by alcohol and years of suppressed grief, pulled a roll of twine from her purse. She bound Lily's arms to the wheelchair, ignoring the girl's weak struggles. "You're just like him," she hissed, grabbing a garden rake from the porch and striking Lily's legs. Though Lily couldn't feel the blows, the terror was paralyzing. Tears streamed down her face as Margaret ranted about standards and disrespect. Lily's soft cries barely carried across the street. Thankfully, Mrs. Clara Thompson, an 80-year-old widow next door, heard the commotion. Peering through her curtains, she saw Margaret looming over Lily. Her hands shook as she dialed 911. "A woman's attacking a girl in a wheelchair," she told the operator. "Hurry." Officer Rachel Bennett arrived within minutes. "Step away from the child," she ordered. Margaret, face flushed, shouted, "They don't belong here." Rachel gently pushed her aside and knelt by Lily, cutting the twine. "You're safe now," she whispered. Lily clung to her, sobbing. Margaret was handcuffed, still yelling about her rights as she was led to the squad car. Susan raced home from the library, heart pounding. She found Lily wrapped in a blanket, talking to Officer Bennett. "I'm so sorry, baby," Susan cried, holding her daughter. "It's not your fault, Mom," Lily whispered. The paramedics found bruises on Lily's arms, but no serious injuries. Officer Bennett promised Margaret would face charges of assault and child endangerment. "She'll likely make bail tomorrow," she warned. "Consider a restraining order. This woman's fixated on you." The next morning, Grace Street buzzed with gossip. Some neighbors brought casseroles. Others whispered Lily must have provoked Margaret. Clara Thompson, fiercely protective, gave Lily a new tablet, bought with her meager savings. "You're stronger than that woman will ever be," she said. A local journalist, Sarah Nguyen, interviewed the Harpers. "This is about more than a ramp," Sarah said. "It's about cruelty." The article, "A Neighborhood Shame," went viral, igniting debates about disability rights and HOA overreach. Lily, determined to understand Margaret's hatred, dug into her past. She uncovered Daniel's story, a young man, now 34, living in Oak Ridge Care Center, abandoned by his mother. Lily contacted the facility and spoke with Daniel. "Mom couldn't handle my accident," he said, voice steady but pained. "She thinks I'm broken. I'm not. I teach art classes here. I'm happy." He paused. "I wish she'd see that." Lily's follow-up article, "The Son She Forgot," exposed Margaret's secret. Grace Street turned against her. Her husband filed for divorce, and her sister, a city council member, cut contact. Margaret, out on bail, was a pariah. At her trial 3 months later, the courtroom overflowed with reporters and neighbors. Susan and Lily sat in the front row, holding hands. The prosecutor presented evidence of Margaret's harassment campaign, photos of Lily's bruises, the shattered tablet, and witness testimonies. When Lily took the stand, her words, typed on her tablet, silenced the room. "She made me afraid to leave my house," she said. "I don't know why she hates me. I just want to be a kid." Asked if she sought revenge, Lily replied, "I don't want her punished. I want her to get help. And I want her to see Daniel. He needs his mom." Jurors wiped tears. Margaret was convicted of assault, child endangerment, and harassment. The judge sentenced her to 4 years, with parole possible after 2 if she completed therapy. As she was led away, Margaret looked at Lily and mouthed, "I'm sorry." Lily nodded, unflinching. Grace Street transformed. The HOA elected Clara Thompson as president, who scrapped Margaret's draconian rules. Susan and Lily stayed at their home, a beacon with its teal door and sturdy ramp. Lily launched a blog, Rolling Forward, sharing her life as a disabled teen. Her candid posts about joy, pain, and resilience gained thousands of followers. "We're not here to inspire you," she wrote. "We're just living." The post sparked heated online debates about ableism. A year later, Oak Ridge Care Center called Susan. Daniel had read Lily's blog and wanted to write to her. Lily was thrilled. They became pen pals, bonding over writing and their shared experiences. Daniel, kind and witty, described his art classes and his hope for his mother's return. "Maybe she's not ready," he wrote. Lily replied, "Give her time. My mom says some people take longer to learn what matters." Lily suggested visiting Daniel. Susan hesitated but agreed. At Oak Ridge, a cheerful facility with blooming gardens, Daniel greeted them with a warm smile. He and Lily talked for hours, sharing stories and dreams. "Your family now," Lily told him. Daniel's eyes glistened. "Thanks for seeing me." In prison, Margaret grappled with her guilt through counseling. Her therapist helped her confront her abandonment of Daniel. "You mourn the son you lost," the therapist said, "but he's still here." Margaret wrote Daniel letters, never sent, until her counselor pushed her to act. Trembling, she called Oak Ridge. "Mom," Daniel said, stunned. They cried, apologized, and talked for hours. "I needed you," Daniel said. "Can I see you?" Margaret promised she would. After 2 years, Margaret was paroled. She moved to a small apartment in Dayton, working at a nonprofit for families with disabled children. Her empathy, born of regret, made her effective. She visited Daniel weekly, learning about his art and pride. "I'm sorry I failed you," she told him. "You're here now," Daniel replied. Margaret wrote to Susan and Lily, requesting a meeting. Lily, now 17, said, "I need to hear her apology." On a crisp fall day, Margaret stood on the Harper porch. "I'm so sorry," she said, voice breaking. "I was angry at myself. not you. I saw your happiness, and it broke me. You didn't deserve my pain. Lily listened, then asked, "How's Daniel?" Margaret smiled faintly. "He's amazing. He's painting again." Lily nodded. "I'm glad you're with him." 3 years later, Lily graduated as valedictorian, accepted to Ohio State for journalism. Her speech about forgiveness, "We choose love over hate," moved the crowd. Margaret, invited by Lily, watched from the back. She gave Lily a gift, a sketchbook from Daniel, inscribed, "To Lily, my sister in spirit." Lily hugged it close. Lily thrived in college, writing for the student paper and starting a disability rights podcast. She met Ethan, a fellow wheelchair user, and they fell in love. Susan beamed with pride as Lily grew into a fierce advocate. At 25, Lily married Ethan in Maplewoods Community Center, adorned with teal flowers. Daniel, her best man, rolled beside her. Margaret, humbly in the back, clapped softly. Clara, now 88, officiated, saying, "Love sees all of you and chooses to stay." Lily became a renowned journalist, winning awards for her disability rights series. She and Ethan had a daughter, Ava, born with spina bifida. Lily taught Ava, "You're enough as you are." Daniel published an art book, with Lily writing the foreword. Margaret, a devoted grandmother to Daniel's son, advocated for mental health reform, using her story to prevent others' mistakes. At 50, Lily lived in the same Gray Street house, its ramp weathered but steadfast. Ava used it daily. The community center bore Lily's name, a testament to her impact. At Clara's funeral, Lily spoke, "One person's courage can change everything. Clara saved me. I want to be that person for others." Margaret died at 80, surrounded by Daniel's family. Lily, at her funeral, said, "She hurt me, but she taught me forgiveness. People can change if they try." Maplewood, once rigid, was now inclusive, with kids of all abilities playing together. Lily's story inspired millions, her message clear: you choose who you become. What do you think about Lily's journey? How should we address violence and injustice in our communities? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Let's debate and discuss what it means to stand up for what's right.